Please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. This episode is a little bit different, right? Some breaking news today. The FBI, right? FBI of America. They had a news conference. Some recent updates about one of the biggest drug dealers in the world, right? Biggest drug kingpin. Guess where he's coming from? Canada. An ex snowboarder, right? Olympic snowboarder. You want to know what his name is? Man, Ryan James Wedding, right? Ex snowboarder. Big drug kingpin now. International drug kingpin, right? Doing all types of things, working with the cartels in South America, the Sinaloa. I'm not even saying it right, right? But they're working with the cartels in South America, what is like right now described as a terrorist group by America. So now, America is targeting cartels, right? In South America as terrorist groups. This guy is a Canadian ex snowboarder. He went to the Olympics and has influence all around the world. This is a story because you'll never think it's a Canadian because of the stereotypes of Canadians being so nice. And you're not thinking drug kingpin. They say that he supplies Canada with the majority of cocaine. And then the reason they're talking in America because he's supplying a lot of drugs in America, especially in California, LA, that whole region, the West Coast. He's been flooding with a lot of narcotics, whatever drugs. He got Mexico with him too. The cartels from there bringing in drugs in trucks, like bringing drugs on in trucks into America, getting through. This is a big story because it connects with even Canadian organized crime, especially more like in Montreal, because that's where you hear a lot of, I'll be straight up, organized crime stories. It's everywhere in Canada, but that's where the Hells Angels took the most power when they came to Canada, the influence, that's where their headquarters is, and they expanded so much they influenced everywhere in Canada. Whoever was doing the biker stuff, they took over, and then they got the Italian mafia in Montreal, right? The Rizzutos, right? Just look them up. The Rizzutos, they got their own history. Them and the Hells Angels working together for years and years, and then you got this other character, from the black gangs, a godfather they call him, right? Tupac Ana. That's what they call him, Tupac Ana. This guy's like the godfather of the streets of Montreal, right? He been controlling things for years. He took it away from this other cat, another black gangster, Greg Woolley, right? I've been doing my research on this. I've been watching some other documentaries about, like, besides the American crime shit, Canadian crime stuff. And there's a lot going on here. And I'm not surprised that this guy, right, Ryan James Wedding, is one of the biggest kingpins in all of North America, over Europe, in the world. So for America to be putting this out right now about a big time kingpin that's Canadian is interesting. But one of the guys I just brought up, right? Tupac Ana from Montreal, he controls a lot of Montreal, I'm hearing, and like the ports. And if you control the ports, you control a lot of things, what's going on, right? And this guy is black, right? Coming from Montreal. He worked with the Hells Angels, he worked with the Mafia for years back and forth, I'm hearing, but then he broke off with his own gang. It's called the Rat Pack Mafia, right? There's different crews in Montreal. There's even one called the Blood Family, I think Mafia. That guy got arrested just recently. I forgot his name, but that's what's going on. A lot of shit is going on out there. And this is some real stuff, what's going on. So It's a coincidence that they're talking about right now, just recently, this guy, Ryan James Wedding, and they just busted this gangster from Montreal recently. They just busted him. And he's involved in a conspiracy whole thing with Wedding. That's what's getting out there, that there was a murder, M in South America, Colombia, that he was involved in, Tupac Ana, that he was involved in, the Montreal gangster, and they link him to James Wedding, right? Because it's a drug game at the end of the day, right? Oh, bless up, Tel Aviv. Yeah, it's the drug game. That's what this guy's been doing. The real snowman from Canada, Ryan James Wedding. I've been hearing stories before this guy's name came up. I never thought that there's this guy who's a ex-Olympian, right? One of the biggest kingpins in the world, right? They're saying that he's been supplying like what? I forgot how much tons of cocaine. He's been supplying tons of cocaine to America and different places, right? All types of drugs. This guy's on the FBI's most wanted list, the top 10 FBI's most wanted list. The other guy, the black gangster, right? Tupac Ana, right? They want to extradite him. America wants him for the drugs, the whole drug business he's been doing in America. They want him, but he's still wanted for a M in Colombia, right? But not saying he done it, but he put out the contract. That's what we're saying. Like he put out the contract for that hit, right? So I don't know. Was he working for this man, Ryan James Wedding, right? This guy's like a character, man. They're gonna make a movie off this guy. If you look at him, man, you just gotta see this guy's like a snowboarder. That's what he really is, white guy, right? You'll never think this guy is the head of a big international drug empire. And from Canada, real snowman. So this is linked to a lot of different stories, more than I even know. This is linked to definitely what's going on in Canada with the drug game. This is linked to what's definitely going on in America with the drug game and its politics too, because Trump is labeling these groups as terrorists, these cartels. He's even bringing the military close to South America, Venezuela. This is a campaign they're putting on. It's kind of funny. So they're blaming Canada for a lot of things, man, especially the immigration, like I said, right? They're saying that we're lax. So they're sending a message, even organized crime, right? So recently, anything what's been going on as a dispute, I would have to say, is because in Canada for crime is because of this, right? These other groups are taking on bigger groups, especially in Montreal. That's what I've been hearing like these street gangs aligning themselves with either the mafia or the Hells Angels biker gang, and they're like they're doing their thing. That's what I think, and they got more bigger, got more independent, and yo, you have a guy like Tupac Ana. This guy is scaring people, been scaring people, right? From Montreal, Quebec, and powerful. Still probably has some pull, even though they locked him up, right? They just caught him, right? So we'll see what the story will continue. But this guy's the man behind it, man. The snowboarder. Think of it. The snowman, Ryan James Wedding. This is the guy. Bill, he has endless money. We don't even know how much money this guy has. Ryan James Wedding, big international kingpin drug dealer, right? Big international on the FBI's, list, top 10, supplying most of Canada with the cocaine. Think of it, with the cocaine. So all these other groups, what we think are tough, think of it. He's the one supplying them, right? That's interesting. He's supplying them. He's supplying those groups, the bikers, whoever, the mafia, whatever organized crime group. This guy been supplying, and they're after him. America wants him. So where is he? They got two guys so far from Montreal, two other guys, right? So now this is the other guy, and he's from Canada. They want him. Think of it. All of these guys. It's connected with a lot of different things, man. Like I said, the cartels is connected to home in Canada, right? Montreal. That's what's going on all through Canada. All these characters. Anybody who's in charge of any of these groups, these underworld groups in Canada, guarantee they had to go through him in some type of way, or he's giving them some business. A snowboarder. I call this episode the Snowman because this man is really, like I said, he was a snowboarder, right? Olympic snowboarder. You see that? Now he's really selling the snow. Yeah, really selling the snow. It's crazy. But people, please subscribe, like, comment, all that good stuff. Yeah, man. They put this out there for a reason. When you see the FBI have some type of conference and they're putting out the man's picture, and this guy been around for a good long time, what happened? Why now? Why are you talking about him all of a sudden? Right? It just busted, like I said, a guy from Montreal, right? Tupac Anna, underworld figure, big gangster, very big gangster I'm hearing about, right? I've been hearing for a couple months about this guy, at least almost a year about this guy, right? So he's like a hitman to me too, because they say he took out or he organized hits. So I don't know if he's gonna stay in America or come to or Canada has him. We don't know what's going on, but we shall see where he's gonna first go to court and have to answer to the judge. We shall see what happens. Big gangster they got. They got a other guy. I forgot the other one's name though. So a white guy, head of the Blood Family Mafia, the other street gang, big street gang leader. I forgot that guy's name though. But they caught him recently too. Yep. So people, please subscribe. This episode is the Snowman Ryan James wedding on the FBI's top 10. Bless up.